All right, we made it to episode 2 of Your New Dad. How are kids doing? Did you enjoy the first episode? I did. Just putting it out there. After months and months and months of procrastination, that was a big achievement. Going to give myself a pat on the back. I got a very exciting message from somebody who listened to the pod, and it said, "Dear Dad, what should I look for in a potential mate?" Whoa. What a question. Well, your dad has been known to break a lot of hearts. I had a bit of a reputation as a ladies' man. I did. It's true. But I was a clueless ladies' man. They loved me. But I didn't really know how to, how do you say it? Hook up with them. Because I was a scaredy cat. I was afraid. Sure, I did some heavy petting in my day in the back of an Oldsmobile. Denim heat. Good times. But I was a good boy. So I wasn't looking to get in there and shuck and jive with some lady before I was married. No. I signed a pledge when I was in youth group in the 7th grade, and it said, "True love waits." What does that mean? It means that I went on a youth trip with my church youth group to Washington, D.C., and I signed a pledge with a bunch of other children across the United States from churches all over, and we set it on the Capitol lawn, and it said, I will wait until I am married to have the intercourse because true love waits, and that's what God wants. Now, did I wait? That is a great question. I spent the next few years engaging in something that a lot of youths do. I masturbated. I masturbated a lot. Once I figured it out, I was like, this is shocking. This is how it works. This is how the world goes round. This is the greatest thing that's ever existed. This is how empires fall. This is how great men are taken down. I figured it all out in one afternoon. And it happened to be an afternoon right before I was supposed to go to church. And I experienced the big O, And I got real tired. It was life-changing. It was shattering. I was shocked. I was like, this makes sense. This is why the people make the other people, because this feels electric. And I'm getting goosebumps right now just remembering it. There I was. I was 14, a little late to the game. Or maybe I was right on time. I don't know. But I had to go to church that evening. And I remember I was at the church and I was begging God for forgiveness. And then I was like, wait a second. Why would God want me to have this special purpose that all the other people have if he didn't want me to use it? So I went to my pastor. My pastor was like, yeah, that's why God made nocturnal emissions. And I was like, what's a nocturnal emission? And he said, it's a wet dream. It's when you dream of a special lady. And then you wake up and you're all confused. And you have to throw your laundry in the laundry basket, and your mom pretends that it wasn't from you, but you're the only boy in the house besides her husband, who's a man. So clearly the clothes that fit your teenage son are not your husband's clothes. So obviously he is just spending all of his time in this recreational pursuit. So there I was, fully intending to make true love wait. And I went through all these years of high school. Sure, I made out a couple times. Heavy petting, like I said. Engaged in some hot makeout sessions. It got hot and heavy. I'm sorry, I'm getting in the weeds here. The point is, I waited a long time because I fully intended to wait to find my soulmate. But I went to a Christian college because I thought that's what I was supposed to do and what my parents wanted. Yeah. And when you get there, there's a lot of ladies in these Christian colleges, and you sign a pledge that once again says, I will not booze. I will not have ladies over to my dorm room unless the door's open between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m. one day a week. So, there were people obviously painting outside the lines inside that school. I was not one of them. I chose beer, surfing, and pizza. That was my sin. That's what I did. Wasn't supposed to be drinking. Not sure if I was supposed to be surfing, but I did a lot of it. No, the surfing was okay. So anyways, I wasn't really even interested in the ladies, which is actually pretty depressing when I look back now as a bald 44-year-old man. I was surrounded by beautiful, mostly pure Christian ladies in the prime of their lives. And I was no slouch myself. I was gorgeous. Your dad was an ocean lifeguard, strong, robust, a lot of stamina. Beautiful, beautiful young man. Big afro full of curly hair. I know it's hard to imagine. Not skin damage yet from the sun. No, I was a good looking lad. Had a lot of suitors, but I was oblivious because I was a moron. So yeah, there were a lot of nice ladies I could have dated, maybe even given a peck or two, maybe a her, who knows? But I wasn't interested because I don't know. I was dumb. So I did not date any of these beautiful young ladies. I did spend a lot of time in Tijuana, though, on Revolution Street. Have you heard of it? It's pretty awesome. On Wednesday nights, San Diego State has a van where they take a bunch of people from college down to Mexico and they drop them off. And you can go to Club Safari, and for $10, you can drink all the tequila and all the beer you want. And there's ladies that are 19, 18, 20, 21, most of them not 21, but 18 and up, 18 to 20, dancing above you. And sure, I would do some of the freaky dancing. I'd drink some of that tequila that tasted like horse piss. And yeah, I would get my grind on. But again, no coitus. No, not for your dear dad, because I meant waiting for that magic someone. Because my father had told me when I was growing up that that's what a good Christian lad does. And that's what he had done, leaving out the fact that he had got married when he was 19 to my mother. 19. He was a good Christian boy. He met her and they got married very quickly and then began having children. And I knew at 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 20, 21, I did not want to get married just to have the relationships, the adult kind. I didn't. I thought that was foolish. I knew you needed to meet the right person because the person you choose to spend the rest of your life with, and yes, divorce is pretty common, and I know a lot of my kids out there are from divorced families. I happen to not be from one. And so I don't know what it's like, but I've had a zillion friends from those kind of families. And it's messy. So I wanted to avoid that. And I knew whoever I was going to marry, I was probably going to have kids with. And it was pretty important that that was the right person. And that terrified me. So Garrett, what would I look for in a potential mate? Well, first off, I would look for something very similar to what I found, what your dad found. I was wandering through a sea of beasts because I was a drunk. I love to party. I love to shake it. I love to get the glow sticks out. Yeah. Go to the clubs. I was a moron. I love to move. Always been a good dancer. Got hips for days like Shakira. I can just go. And I would meet women and some of the ladies were attractive. I would get nervous around them. I couldn't talk to them. So I would take, using the scale from 0, and there is a 0 on the scale, to 10, your standard hotness scale, and it includes personality, likability, everything, coolness factors. I was somewhere floating around right in the 1 to 4 range. Meanwhile, I had friends that were hideous monster-looking people who would pull the 8s to 10s consistently, and they were very, very cruel to these women. They would say insulting things to them, and then they would get to have relationships with them, which is unreal. And I couldn't understand why or how they were pulling these young ladies. But what I failed to realize, and I realized many moons later, was we were young, dumb, and full of cum. The guys, you see, but the ladies, the good ones, and the Susie Rotten crotches, I'm sorry that's rude. Maybe they have beautiful crotches. The young females, they were dumb too, just in a different way. So when my hideous friends insulted them. They were like, wait, what? I have no self-confidence. And then they would hook up with them and this cycle would repeat itself. And in my circle of friends, the more ladies that the dudes hooked up with, the more they would talk about it. And guys would be like, that's insane. Yeah. What are your numbers? All this. And I would simply be at the club in a corner, and whatever wildebeest wandered towards me, usually strong ladies, broad shoulders, probably worked on a farm. I would climb up onto their shoulders and they would carry me home from the bar. And sometimes things would happen. I'm not going to lie. I said I would never lie to you. Anyways, all of this rambunctious times in my life, it didn't lead anywhere. It was disgusting. It was gross. I regret a lot of it. I do. I'll be honest. And one day, a little angel came into my life. I was walking into a party and I saw the prettiest girl I'd ever seen in my life. And it was as if there was a sign over her head, an electric sign going bzz, bzz, this is the one. And what I didn't know was she felt the same way. She went home that very night, and this is crazy, but she emailed her friends and she said, I just met the man I'm going to marry. Had she told me that on our first date, I would have ran to the hills, but she told me years later, and that is now my wife. We've been together 16 years. I would look for, Garrett, similar interests, similar beliefs. Yes, opposites may attract, but do they stay together? I don't really think so. We both have the same hobbies. We both have similar political leanings. We both have similar upbringings. And that has produced two beautiful, amazing children. Because I think there is something out there for everybody. And you know it when nature tells you. But here's the ticker. Or kicker. It has to be reciprocated. And that's the bummer, Garrett. Sometimes love is not reciprocated. Either the young lady is not into you and you're into them, or vice versa. And that stinks, but welcome to life, young Garrett. So I would say, pump your brakes, kid. Lift some weights. Take all that testosterone you got coursing through your veins. Put it to some creative use. Have you ever thought about that? You can take all that energy and put it into something else, not just putting up numbers and trying to get with the ladies. Because I'll tell you what, I believe a man can be a sleut and a lady can be a sleut. And sometimes the sleuts end up together, and that gets really weird down the road, especially when they have little babies and you're at a party and you're with your beautiful angel wife and you're looking at Sierra and you're like, dude, she slept with like 30 of my friends. Or there's Tommy. Tommy had sex with 150 women. Anyways, point is, God does forgive, and maybe, just maybe, two sluts can meet and they can live happily ever after. But I would strongly encourage you, Garrett, to tread lightly. Wait for love. Wait for the right one. When every fiber in your body and your soul says, this is the person I'm supposed to be with, pray about it. Yes, to God above. And she needs to pray about it. And you need to think about it. And there's nothing wrong with staying a virgin. Nothing wrong with it at all, despite what you might hear from the world, because guess what? The world is sick and the world is twisted. And how many great men and how many great women have had their downfall because of the sex? I'm going to sing you a little song right now, and I hope this helps you, Garrett. Yo, sex is a test when I'm pressed, so back up all with less as that zest. Impress this brother with a life of virtue. The innocence that's spent is going to hurt you. Safe is the way they say to play, but then again, safe ain't safe at all today. So just wait for the mate that's straight from God and don't have sex till you tie the knot. Now I know what you're saying. Dad, I've been a whore. Is there still hope for me? Ladies, the literally one lady that's listening to this, yes, there's still hope. Yes. You don't have to repeatedly listen to that song. I'm All my heart is torn. Whatever that song was, you don't have to lay on the floor crying all the time after you get used and abused by every other dude. Have a little self-respect. You're worth a lot more than that. Find a man that appreciates you for you, hey? And dudes, don't be out there just trying to slay. You know, these young ladies have dads. None of this, bring your daughter to the slaughter. No, they have fathers. They're somebody's daughter. Chill out, brother, man. Garrett, I hope this helped you. This was episode 2 of Your New Dad. And really, I think we touched on a lot of really important topics. Mainly, purity is beautiful. Did I keep that pledge? I know you're wondering. No, I did not. I lost my virginity 3 days before 9/11. I was almost 22 years old. She went to Arizona State. She was disgusting. And then I saw her a few years down the road in a bar, and she didn't recognize me. I gave her my special gift, and she didn't even remember me. And I went home that night and I took a shower, and I scrubbed and I felt disgusting. And I wish I had not have done it, because I met a little angel baby down the road who was a pure, beautiful flower who had saved herself. And then we had to have that discussion. The mother of my children, I had to say, yeah, I was a sick, sick man. But then again, that's how I was raised, Garrett. I do not know your background, but I would say keep the numbers low. And ladies, that is your superpower. Keep them low. And dudes, that's your superpower. It's called your sparkle. And the more you give away your sparkle, other people can see it. We can smell it across the room. We're human beings. We know you've been around the block, and it's really hard to repair that. So stay out of the clubs, man. Stay away from the mollies, popping them and dancing in sexy sexies. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's your dad's advice. I know it goes against everything you've ever heard. It goes against what society is telling you. But I'm confident in saying that if you take care of your body, your mind, and your soul, and you meet somebody else who's done that, you're probably going to have a very beautiful life. And she's not going to be comparing you to the captain of the basketball team. Or the other guy, the captain of the lacrosse team, or the captain of the water polo team, or all those other things. And then you're not going to be waking up in the middle of the night going, right? It goes both ways. You don't have to lay there thinking at night any of those thoughts. So stay pure. Stay pure. And if you do meet a little angel baby, she doesn't have to sit there thinking about all the hoochie coochie Susie Rotten crotches that you did it with. You don't need the stink in your memory bank. That is all. God bless you. This was pretty tight and pretty short. If you're looking for a mate, Garrett, I suggest find a lady who ignites your soul on fire, and she recognizes her counterpart in your soul, Garrett. And get this, you don't know when it's going to happen. So hold fast. Chances are it's going to happen when you least expect it, because that's how things work. That's what happened to me. I'd given up on the ladies. I said, God, I'm done. And then boom, I found the mother of my babies. All right, everybody. This was Your New Dad, episode 2. Darn it, we did it. I hope you enjoyed it. Wherever you're at, tell a friend. Every Wednesday and Saturday, we'll be taking questions. We'll be dropping new gems. God love ya. Thank you so much. This was Your New Dad, and I'm your host, Jonathan Wayne Freeman. Be safe out there, kids. Don't be a she whore or a man whore. Respect yourself. If you're out there and you're searching for the love of your life, it'll happen. It might happen when you're 90. Or it might happen when you're, 14. I don't know. I don't make the rules, kids. I'm just the messenger. I love you all. Have a safe week, and God bless. See you on Saturday. shit.